I think a lot of people these days are using the organic blends. So the organic fertilizer, it's a blend of different amendments, and they're typically doing the top dressing, right? That's the main way to do it, is the top dress, or you can do the initial amending of the soil to begin. But when the plant is growing in the grow pot, they're top dressing that organic fertilizer, and then they're watering that in. A lot of folks say that's the easiest way to do it, and you can't overdo it. However, I'm hearing otherwise, that you can overdo it. So can you overdo it with organics?
Absolutely. You can absolutely over-apply any fertilizer, to tell you the truth. It's like food. You can overeat anything. You can even overdrink water. And plants are the same way. It's harder, obviously, to overdose your plants on a certain, say, phosphorus, because it takes so long typically for that to become available in a root zone. So unless you do some sort of an egregious over-application of something like that, then you're typically not going to see toxicity symptoms or any sort of like ailments of the plant. But certain things like nitrogen, calcium, those can be absolutely apparent when you do have toxicity. And the problem with organic agriculture too is remedying those problems. Say, you can absolutely over-apply nitrogen. You put triple the amount of fish emulsion, into the root zone. You start to get weird growth of like pathogenic cultures. You have this overabundance of nitrogen going into the plant. The leaves are getting leathery. Nitrogen cycle is getting weird within the rhizosphere as well. So you can get those symptoms, but how do you alleviate that? In rock wool with nitrates, you just water through maybe 30 minutes for about 30-minute cycles for about 4 or 5 hours, and then you can be assured that that cube is well flushed enough that your next application of fertilizer will kind of reset the balance in that. With a soil plot with organic soils, it's a lot more difficult to alleviate those issues just because of the fact that it's being immobilized by the root zone's ecology, like the things living in there. It's being immobilized by the types of substrate that's in that, so it can't leave that substrate because it's stuck to the particles in it. And generally, you'd have to use things like maybe potassium carbonate or activated charcoal or things like that to kind of deal with toxicities in your root zone and kind of help sequester things. But you're never going to get the fast bounce back that you would in like a hydroponic situation. So with organic inputs, you can overuse them. You just have to make sure that you kind of do the lowest application possible and move up from there. Like I said, with organic inputs and organic agriculture, it's really time intensive. You have to know your cultivars, and if you're trying to blast through them and try to treat it like hydroponics, you're going to be going back and forth from either end. So yeah, start slow and moving up, and not over applying would be the best technique with organic agriculture. But yeah, you can definitely over apply. That's no question.
This clip is brought to you by AC Infinity. Use discount code MrGrowIt15 to save on any of their products.